I remember the day that we got Jack. My dad and I drove up to Maine, and we pulled into the place, and it sort of looked like a big warehouse. I got out and walked towards the door, and this bull with a golden ring through its nose walked around the corner and right over to me, breathing out its nose. I was 14 at the time, and I barely made it up to his shoulders. I fumbled for the door handle and ran inside the building, and immediately the loudest barking sounds you've ever heard echoed down a long hallway, and at the very end was a little cage, and all you could see was a fluff ball with a white line down between its eyes, just terrified, alone among the barking and the howling. A lady said, "That's him." And I picked him up, and I held him in my arms. And I said, "You're coming home with me." That was 12 years ago. And if you know about Australian shepherds, you know that they don't live much longer than that. And if you've ever owned a dog, you know how hard it can be to say goodbye. They stand by your side through all the highs and the lows of life. And no matter what happens, they love you at 100%. They define chapters in your life, and they bring an unexplainable energy to simple adventures, and they smile the whole way through, subconsciously reminding you just how great life is, even on the blue days. It's hard not to cringe at the thought of replacing them. But after all, it's not replacing, it's moving forward. The memories will always live, and thus a new chapter begins, with new life and new adventures. We've all lost someone we love, and no matter how many times it happens, it never gets easier. I remember reading something from a friend of my father's. It was right after he lost his dog. He said something like,
"I knew we would break my heart. Dogs break our hearts. That's part of the deal. We know that going in, and even so, we wouldn't change a thing."
So as I dug away at Jack's grave, in the garden by the oak tree, right near where all my other childhood pets are buried, I wandered down to the river like I always do, when I'm happy or when I'm sad. And I thought back to the day when I first saw him in the cage, and reflected on all the memories along the way. Here's to you, Jack.